Unajua pale Mount Kenya tunasemanga mudoja by tiguo. Kana tiguo. Kwa hivyo nikisema jamba mnasema ni baba. Sawa? Jamba? Jamba? Unajua baba watu wataongea hapa sana, lakini ile chama nilikwambia naongoza kuna mambo tunafanya. Sometimes unaenda tunadanganya wasichana na unaona msichana amependa uongo sana. Alafu kuna kuja jamaa mwingine ako na ukweli. Sasa pale Mount Kenya tumekatiwa na uongo, si ndio? Si mnaelewa Kenya nasema? Tukapewa uongo. Alafu Uhuru na wewe mkatuletea ukweli. Sasa tunaenda tukipata ukweli. Na ndio maana tuko hapa. I want to call the next speaker. Her name is Angel Mbuthia. Please come and address.
Thank you so much, Jemo. Your Excellency, Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga, ODM leadership, Mount Kenya leadership, ladies and gentlemen, habari zenu. I'm Angel Mbuthia. I have been a vice chair in this great institution. And Jacom, I want to welcome you to the Bomas of Kenya of my generation. Karibu sana. I am seeing so many amazing people that we have been on this journey together. I've been the deputy president to the longest serving Sonu chairman on earth, Babu Owino. Alipomaliza na Irene Kendi, then I took over from there, and I'm quite humbled that I've moved forward from that and gone to the All Africa Students Union, headquartered in Accra, Ghana, to serve as the Secretary for Gender and International Relations for 3 years. So I later came back home because all this wisdom cannot just go to other states. I brought it back home, and Super CS Joe Musheru, together with the President, saw it best fit to appoint me as a director in the National Youth Council Advisory Board. So, asanteni sana. And Jacom, one thing I want us to look at is the COVID-19 situation. It has taught us that Kenya does not exist in isolation. Kenya needs other countries to work together. And so I'm bringing in the aspect of the diplomatic space, which is very important. The largest, most dominating country in the world, which is the United States of America, is very deliberate with conquering the diplomatic space. And they did not leave the youth behind when they were conquering the diplomatic space. President George Bush Jr. appointed a 26-year-old Condi Rice to become the first African-American Secretary of State. Jacom, this can be done here in Kenya. And I think the last time we had a youth diplomatic appointment was when you and President Mwai Kibaki were at the helm of leadership, and you appointed Yvonne Kamati as Deputy Ambassador for Kenya to Somalia. And since then, that has been quite neglected. And we need to revamp that moving forward, because the regional diplomatic institutions are coming to realize this. Because COMESA, which is the common market for Eastern and Southern Africa, passed a resolution to have a COMESA Youth Advisory Panel, which I'm happy and quite excited to have been elected to as one of the youngest serving panel members at the age of 26, not to represent Kenya, but to represent Eastern Africa. So regional institutions are recognizing that the youth voice is important in their decision-making processes. Because I was being reminded that Barack Obama mentioned that you can't play football with 11 players only. You need 22. And the youth of this country, Jacom, are part of that 22 team. You can't play it with 11, and we need to be on the table. And just like Solomon Kuria has stated, not to be on the menu, but to be on the decision-making table. Sakaja and his team started that narrative, and we keep moving forward with it. We are taking the mantle from them. And then again, Jacom, now I am speaking to you as AU's high representative in Africa and as an infrastructure envoy. And if we can have the COMESA Youth Advisory Panel Secretariat hosted here in Nairobi, would be a tremendous opportunity for Kenyans. You saw how hard Uhuru Kenyatta's government fought to make sure the UN Women headquarters are maintained here in Nairobi because that is where we are employed. That is where, when we study international relations, those are our first stepping stones into the global industry. And as we are pushing Africa to the forefront, we need Kenya to be the headquarters of that success. And that is how we start. As we are talking about creating opportunities for young people, Jacom, I'm also requesting, because in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, just one person handling youth issues in foreign affairs. So, Jacom, I'm asking if we can have a foreign youth advisory board that will be anchored, a foreign youth advisory board that will be anchored under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, because all Kenya's correspondence with the Ministry of Youth, the Ministry of Agriculture, with the Ministry of Gender, time wears out, and then we are left out in so many of these opportunities. So as we are harnessing the diplomatic, let us look at it in that full board with a secretariat to handle diplomatic issues for Kenya. Because one thing I would also like to point out is that Kofi Annan did not become Secretary General in the UN, coming from Ghana, just like that. The Ghanaian government, which I have been privileged to work with, I have seen them sponsor their youth to go and vie in Commonwealth Youth Council, to go and vie in the African Union Youth Commission. Even the AU Youth Commission envoy is now open. We need to see a Kenyan taking up that space after the lady from Egypt. And those opportunities are tremendous, leave alone the opportunities we have here locally. We can open up, and Africa is becoming a giant on the globe, and that is where we can come in, because we are set for greatness in Kenya as a country. And let's support Uhuru Kenyatta's initiatives and networks to be able to build on the diplomatic space. He's been fighting so hard to have Amina, to have now Dr. Monica in the Commonwealth. We need to embrace that, and I hope to see more of diplomatic relevance with Kenya in your regime, Jacom. So now, Jacom, yesterday, coming home now, we were celebrating the International Day of the Girl Child. And Jacom, Moi alituacha na maziwa ya Nyayo. As teenage girls, as we end period poverty, which is quite an issue that we are discussing 50 years after independence, can we please have sanitary towels in public toilets, in public washrooms? This can be realized. It is not a wet dream, no. This can be realized because it has been done elsewhere. And we need to be very deliberate, shameless, and ruthless about it. Because we need that, and it's very important that we protect our dignity as young women. Again, as we are empowering women and girls, Jacom, gender-based violence, hatuwezi kuwa ati mambo ya kukula fair is an excuse for gender-based violence. Bana, Jacom, sisi karibu itisha maandamano bana. We need punitive laws that condemn gender-based violence. 50 years after our independence, we cannot be talking about this. 1 minute, as I conclude, on Jacom, I do recognize that everything rises and falls on leadership. And if we can have the two-thirds gender rule implemented, and not just a two-thirds gender rule, I'm here to speak on behalf of young women. We want a purple zebra matrix, where with every woman you have, there is a young woman, and then there is another one who is young at heart. So Jacom, even as you are doing that, let's please have a woman running mate. But women are loyal, Jacom. It is biblical. It is biblical. Even Ruth told Naomi, Ruth was Naomi's deputy, and she told Naomi, your people will be my people. And she was true to her word. So Jacom, as you're even picking a running mate, pick a loyal running mate. See at wewe unakimbia hivi, mwingine anakimbia hivi, and look at our state of the nation. 2027 tutaanza kuambiwa mambo ya jembe, because now we've seen wheelbarrow. Ama namna gani? So my question to you, Jacom, will we have the two-thirds gender rule successfully implemented in your regime? Thank you very much.
Baba, you know, the brilliance of young women